What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me oh, I need to pin that comment. Need to pin that comment in the chat. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me um pin the comment in. Where's my video? Okay, there it is. Pin this comment in the chat. While I'm pinning the comment in the chat, y'all go ahead and hit the like button for me. Comment pin. Okay, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. It is pinned to the top of the chat. Um, y'all go ahead and hit the like button for me while y'all file in. While everybody file in, let's go ahead and get the pleasantries out of the way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Tim's Tidbit. Shout out Spidey back here. What's up, Spidey? If this is your first time tuning in, I like to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in, I still like to say welcome and thank you for always tuning in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. I get on Al Gore's internet every single day, and I talk about the price action. I share my thoughts on the price action. We review the most probable action, the price action. If that's the way you see it, it's going to move. How we just look at the price action and see what the market going to do on a day-to-day basis, man. Shout out to everybody in the gang that pull up every single day, hanging out with me. Again, I do it. Well, I shouldn't say again because I didn't say it yet, but I do it all for the free 99. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, pull up every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time in the morning. We talk about overnight price action, and then typically 6:30 p.m. in the evening, but we're doing football season. We're doing it at 7:30 p.m. And we talk about the price action review. We do a price action recap, see what we right that day, what we wrong that day. Why do I do it? Because I want to show people what a full-time trader would do in any situation. Yes, I am a full-time trader, and I just, want to share it the way that little Timmy Rogers, the voice in my head, understand it in the hopes that it would help give somebody that aha moment. So hang out with us, man. Hit the like button for me if you will. Hit the like button if you will. Let's get into it, man. Let's see who in the chat. Who up in here this morning? Who up in here? What's up, Tanya? What's going on, Tanya? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's up here to learn and share? Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. What's going on, Angela? What's up? Hello, Mendez. What's up, Mendez? Hello, Anna. Hello, Elsa. Hello, Queen. How are you? Y'all still ain't got no new picture. Y'all still walking away from us. What's going on, Cameron? What's going on, Cam? What's up, Seawalk? Shout out the hater in the building. Cool it now. Ooh, watch out. What's up, Cool it? What's going on, Laverne? What's going on, Regina? How y'all doing this morning, man? I see more numbers than I see names, but them are all the names I see, so that's all we're gonna shout out. Y'all, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get it started. Let's get it started here. Fadio, what's going on, my guy? Good morning to you. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. As y'all can see, I am currently in a trade that semi-ticked me off, did not hit my target, and turned around. And what really made me mad about this is that I initially was going to set my target at the yesterday's close, and then I said, you know what, I'm just gonna put it above this swing high right here, and we came all the way up and fell just short of that swing high and started pushing back down. All right. I'm not worried about it. Because I feel like I got a decent entry. I actually set this order before I left to take the boys to school, and then I was just peeking at my phone to see what was going to transpire at the 8:30 during the news. And then it was going good. And when I got home, I was like, oh yeah, I should be good. And I walked in here and I saw that. I said, you better stop lying to me, you dirty dog. You better stop lying to me, you dirty dog. So I'm just kind of watching. I'm just kind of watching this area right here, right? I'm kind of watching this area right here to see if price respects this area here and start to push back up. Um, if it doesn't respect this area and we start to lose it, you know what I'm saying? I might just I might just pull up and cover. I might just pull up and cover and get out it and charge it to the game because we came up here um to this area right here that's can be a potential mitigation block. I don't think it's a mitigation block because we didn't, when we came up here and didn't run this high, that don't really strike me as being a mitigation block. But you know what I'm saying, it is revisiting, a breaking structure right here. So, you know, I'm just and the reason why I'm saying I'm looking at this area right here is because we're coming back down. We blast off and we're coming right back down to an area where we had a bearish order block on this side of the potential buy model, that because it looked like we're going into a lower time frame buy model right here. But we got a bearish order block over there. So I'm just really paying attention to this area right here. If we start getting down, this looking like this order block is not going to hold, then I'm just going to call it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just paying attention to this area here because we do have a fair value gap there. And then we got an order block right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just paying attention to that area there. You've been lost to James Brown. You don't want no static. Don't start none. Won't be. You must have been listening to James Brown, you hater. Hey man, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Let's go look at the job numbers. Let me move this to the side so I can pay attention to that, so I can see if that area that I'm watching give way while I'm talking. I don't want it to, come this far, that close to my target, and then mess around and to give way and to come down and stop me out at a loss. Then I would be pissed off. You know what I just thought about? After we check these numbers, we're gonna do a teachable moment. We're gonna do a teachable moment. I'm gonna break down everything that I looked at going into taking this trade. We're gonna do a teachable moment. That's what we're gonna do. If y'all want to do a teachable moment, put a 1 in the chat. If you just want to do the regular overnight price action, talk about what price action did, and then call it, put a 2 in the chat. Y'all go ahead while we go look at these numbers. For anybody who don't know about econoday.com, it looked like it respected that fair value gap. Anybody who don't know about econoday.com, it's my preferred site to get my economic data. You can also go to forexfactory.com. It's another site, Forex, just like the trading forexfactory.com, all one word. And it gives you the same information. I just like the way it's laid out on Econoday better, right? So today, if you notice, well, I got it scrunched up because I'm watching the screen, but if you notice, some stuff says consensus, some stuff says reports. If it says consensus, that means that event has not taken place yet. If it says report, that means that event has taken place. If you click on consensus or report, it takes you to the same page. The only difference is once it says report, there's an additional column out to the right that says actual over here. So the unemployment claims was high. It was high and the market went up. Okay, the consensus was 203,000 and we had 209,000 that actually came out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it went up. They expected, but it was within the range. So that may be why the market reacted well. It was within the range. Okay, so they was expecting 203,000 people to file, 219,000 filed. It was within the range because the top of the range was 220,000. So that's kind of strange to me that we went up off of that news, because we went way up. We went way up off of that news. Okay, so but that's econoday.com. All right. I see a bunch of ones in the chat. So we're going to make it a teachable moment. I forgot I'm supposed to be watching this. I keep opening that up because I'm not used to it being closed up like that. Before we make it a teachable moment, let's go over here and talk to Spalene. Y'all know what we got to do. I need my screen right now. Spalene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Hey, there she go. Hey, how you doing, Spalene? We about to have a slight gap down. $1 and some change. We closed at 377.09. We're currently at 375.88. It just ticked up a little. 91. It's just ticked up some more. It's flirting around there. We're about to have a slight gap down. Yesterday, ignore this long crazy wick. Don't know what that is, but yesterday we took out the external liquidity on the buy side. I mean the sell side. External liquidity on the buy side on the SPY. That's on the SPY. We didn't do all of that on the ES, but on the SPY we ran below yesterday's low. I don't know why this wick here, because we didn't sell all the way down there, but the official low, like if I go down to lower candles, I'm gonna drop it down to I'm gonna just go to 4-hour candles. All right, so on 4-hour candles, this is the low of pre-market, and it's below the previous day's low, and then this is the high at 12 noon, and that's above the previous day's high. So we, you know what I'm saying, we ran the lows and the highs on the SPY yesterday. We didn't run all of that on the ES, but on the SPY we did run the lows and the highs. Now we're about to have a slight gap down, and we'll see where we go. We'll see what we do. Are they going to make this a super bullish week where we just make every day green? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Are we going to finally have a red day? Are we going to go sideways? Right now we're going sideways. Like we popped and then scooted to the side. Will we keep scooting to the side, or will we pop, scoot to the side, pop? What are we going to do? Are we going to get to the top of this fair value gap? What are we going to do? Let the market show you what it wants to do. Now, the teachable moment. Let's go back to the teachable moment. Let's go up. We're going to go up first. This is what I do. Y'all already know what I do. I go up first, right? Let's go up to the daily. All right, let's go up to the daily. Let me hide all of this text. So it's not so I missed one down there. There you go. Hold up, before we do this, let me go get this level so I can let me get this price, so while I'm talking I can focus, and then if I see it hit this price if I see it hit this price, okay, all right, the bodies are respecting that. You know what I'm gonna do? Just so I can focus, I'm gonna go ahead. If we come all the way back down here, if we come all the way back down here to this fair value gap right there, I'm gonna call it, what's that, 74. I'll put it at an even number, 77. I'm gonna put it at an even number right. If we come all the way back down to this fair value gap right there, I'm gonna call it. So, and then I'm just doing that just so I can focus and talk to y'all and not worry about it coming back and stopping me out for a loss. Right? So okay, this is what I'm gonna do so that I don't have to try to talk around those so I don't have to talk around those what's nice. I'm gonna change this to sim so I don't have to try to talk around those lines and stuff. Okay, all right. Now I can focus and not have to worry about, hey, is it trying to get me for a loss? If it come down, now if it come down and fill that fair value gap and keep going back up, it is what it is. Okay, so here we go. Where we at? This is the daily candles, right? Y'all know I like to look at where are we, what have we done, right? I like to look at where are we and what have we done, right? So we went through all of that yesterday before, but for anybody who wasn't on here, where are we, what have we done? We went up, came down, these daily candles. We went way up, came way down, you know what I'm saying? Ran sell side liquidity down here below, right? Soaked up some liquidity and then took off, right? We took off, pang out, right? Setting a potential order block right here, right? Just pointing out everything that's on there, setting a potential order block on here. Pushed up, we got a we made a weekly fair value gap on the way down, so we got a weekly bearish fair value gap right here that's marked out. We got a weekly potential order block that's from this side of this sell model, right? It's over here, the weekly. We marked that out on the weekly level. In that same area, there's a potential daily order block in that same area right here, right? The low is of that order block is 38.40, right? Just above this buy side liquidity right there at 38.33, right? So that's the major things we got there. Then we got we have a potential mitigation block right here on the top side of this potential order block right there. Mitigation block because we came up, set a high, right? Came down, failed to take that high. This is mitigation block right here, right? Failed to take that high, broke low. Once we broke that low, this became the mitigation block right here. Came down, right? Ran the sell side liquidity under there, pushed back up into that mitigation block right there, sold off, ping out, came down. Now we broke that low. So now this is a potential mitigation block because we came up, right? Made a mitigation block, trading into it and sold off without taking any highs. We stopped at the mitigation block and sold off. Now that we've broken this low right here, now that we broke that low right there, right? This right here became a mitigation block. Boom, came up, sold into that mitigation block again. I mean, bought up into that mitigation block again, ping out, sold off again. You see what I'm saying? Sold off. Boom. Now we've run all of the sell side liquidity down there, right? These mitigation blocks brought us down here. Right now, looking to this side over here, this breaker right here, we came up into this breaker over here the other day off the takeoff. Boom, we came up into this breaker right there. This is a breaker because this low broke this high and a million other highs, and then we traded back down through it. Now we're coming back up. Boom, we hit this breaker over here, this area here. You got like a series of down closed candles. We traded up right into the wick of the bottom candle, close to the body of the bottom candle, right? Boom, traded up into that breaker, pushed down, boom, into this breaker right over here, right? This high broke this low. We traded back through it. This on the daily level. It was also a 4-hour breaker right around here. We already went down and saw all of that, right? Just rushing through where we at for people who wasn't on the live, right? Boom, hit this breaker, came back up, right? Remember, we ran sell side liquidity, took off, right? Took off, heavy reaction to running the sell side liquidity, coming down to this. We kissed the monthly fair value gap. We said all of that, right? Now we've set a potential order block, breaking structure. We got a breaking market structure, breaker, traded up above it, right? Stopped at this breaker, came back down to this breaking market structure, to this breaker, and then heavy movement up off of it. Boom. Now we got the heavy movement up off of that breaker, right? And so that brings us to today. This was yesterday. We ricocheted up off of that breaker and we closed right there. Now, boom, that brings us to where we are yesterday. So now, boom, drop down to the 4-hour. Drop down to the 4-hour because we were looking at it on the daily where we were, right? Yesterday's close. Where's my, oh, right there. There you go. These 4-hour candles. So yesterday's close here. Boom. We're here. This is where we came down. Ricocheted up. No. This is where we came down to the breaker right there, the 4-hour breaker that we was talking about. You got a series of candles. We came down into the wick of the top candle, very close, not super close, but very close to the body of the, but came into the wick of the breaker at the breaking structure at the fair value gap. Highly A++ setup trade, right? We got a breaking market structure, gap fill retracement on the 4-hour at a breaker, highly A++ setup to go long off of. Boom, right? Came back up, ricocheted back up. Now that we've ricocheted back up, looking at, now that we did all that, right, we understand where we are for after yesterday's close. Boom, that's where we are right now. This is the range of yesterday, right? This is the range of yesterday. The top of our box is right here at 38.20. The bottom of our box is at 37, 34, 25, right? Bottom of the box, top of the box. That's our range, right? So dealing with the dealing range that we're in. Now I'm zooming in more and more, right? We already know all the different PD arrays that's around us on the higher time frame. Now we're zooming in on the daily dealing range because we're trying to lock focus on a day trade, right? I'm locking focus on a day trade. The day trade that y'all saw that I was in, well, am in, if I haven't gotten down to that point yet, but and it came up there and flirted with my profit target and turned around. But we're gonna see how that play out. So, and also I'm working on my discipline of letting trades play out. That's why when it was up there and when I got back, it was like right up there, still flirting around my area, and that's why I just didn't push the stop loss up and get out at, like, because I think it was around 20 or 21 points when I walked back into the house and I looked and I'm like, man, it ain't hit my target. And then I started to like just push it up to 20 points and cover it, but I was like, I'm gonna let it play out. I'm working on letting my trades play out. Anyway, so I'm zooming in. Now we know the higher time frames, the top down analysis. We got the top down analysis out of the way. Boom, right? So here's the dealing range of the day, right? So when you look at the dealing range now, when you look at the dealing range, here we go at like 2 in the morning, right? At 2 in the morning, this 4-hour candle closed at 38.15.75, right? What's the first thing? This gonna be interactive now. This the interactive part, y'all, right? So this is the bottom of the box. This is the top of the box, right? At 2 o'clock in the morning, right? When we so on the 2200 calendar last night, we didn't take out the yesterday's high. We ain't take out the external liquidity, right? On the 2 o'clock candle, these 4-hour candles now, we didn't take out the external liquidity, made a, you know what I'm saying, slightly lower high, right? What do you notice about where this candle closed at when it comes to our box? What's the overbearing obvious place that we are? Where are we when it comes to our box? We are in what kind of market, right? We're in what kind of market when it comes to our box, right? This is the low, this is the high, right? This is the bottom of the box, this is the top of our box. When it comes to our box, what market are we in? You got a clue? I'm moving the mouse. What market are we in? Premium. There you go, Otis. There you go. Father of Legends said it first. Premium. It's a premium, Mario World. It ain't no wrong answers. It's a premium. That the premium is the answer I'm looking for, right? We're in a premium market. For those that don't know what why it's a premium market, because this is the low, this is the high of the dealing range. If you get a fib, and you run a fib from the low to the high or the high to the low, it don't matter how you run it. 50% is equilibrium, right? 50% is equilibrium. Above 50% of that dealing range, you're in a premium market. Below 50% of that dealing range, you're in a discount market. And at the closure of the 2 a.m. candle, we were in a extreme premium. We was in an extreme premium, right? So I know some people might be thinking, well, Tim, if you're an extreme premium, why you ain't just look for something to sell? I'm glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers, because I wasn't looking for something to sell because the overall sentiment, the higher time frame sentiment, has been bullish. So I tend to look for setups that's going along with the overall sentiment. So the overall sentiment has been bullish. That's the only reason why I didn't look for something. Nothing wrong with looking for a short setup, right? But I was looking for something that I can put on and hit going with the overall sentiment, and maybe possibly even just let it continue to ride throughout the day if it wants to start running like crazy. That's why I look for a buy setup. Okay, so now we're in a premium, right? We're in a premium market, extreme premium market, right at the highs, right? So looking at now that we know that we're in a premium market, so I'm just peeking at the 4-hour time frame to see if there's any PD arrays in the discount market, right? I'm looking for any PD arrays in the discount market because we're refusing to take out this buy side liquidity, right? We didn't take it out on this 4-hour candle. We didn't take it out on that 4-hour candle. So I'm like, okay, let me start looking down to see what we're going to take out, right? I actually looked at this last night before I went to bed, so we would have been like up here around here somewhere, right? We would have been around this area, maybe a little bit higher. It was after 12. It was after 12, but before 2. So we was up here around somewhere. So I'm like, okay, let me start looking down to see what the market can go get to try to go back up, right? Go get to try to go back up, mind you, because we wicked up like crazy, ran up, you know what I'm saying, did whatever, right? So I was like, let me see what the market gonna try to go get, right? So then the market is open, the market is open, the market is open. If you got to go trade, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. Please hit the like button on the way out the door. And Junior got a JV game. We're gonna do the price action recap, but it may not be right at 7:30. He got a JV game, and if Calandra don't get off to come to the game, then I'll be getting on after I pick him, bring after we get back. All right, appreciate you. Okay, so on the 4 hour time frame, there's no looming PD arrays. Oh, before I get into that, I owe you. I'll break it down inside here. I went back. Remember yesterday we was talking about when ICT had the order of operations, the PIM-DAS. I went back and I figured out why I didn't know what the liquidity void was, because when I went back, I didn't look at that video. It didn't have a red line. You know, have a red line on the videos that you watch. There was no red line on that video. But now I know what the liquidity void is. And the liquidity void, it's sort of like, you know, when I be talking about the sell side imbalance or the buy side imbalance, it's sort of the same thing. It's sort of the same thing, but I'll break it down. I looked at the video last night and I was like, oh, okay, I get that. I understand that. It's sort of the same thing like the buy side imbalance and the sell side imbalance. It's not the full gap. The full gap is a full gap. It's not, because I was like, I'm just going with a full gap. It's not the full gap. A full gap is a full gap. The liquidity void, I'll break it down in here while we're going through here, right? So, where was I? Oh yeah, there's nothing that just pokes out on 4 hour time frame that I want to map out, want to mark out. No, yes it is. There's a 4 hour fair value gap right here. All right, let me move this over so it looked like how it looked when I was looking at it. Looking how you looking. Okay, so there's a 4 hour. No, it's not. There's no four right here. It's a 4 hour fair value gap right there. So we got a small 4 hour fair value gap right here, right? That's matter of fact, let me put a discount line there so I can keep myself together. All right, so just above that hourly fair value gap right there. So that's right there. So 37.77 is the equilibrium, right? So I'm going to make this red and I'm going to make it dashed so we can remember that that's equilibrium, right? Equilibrium, it's important, right? So boom, that's an important line. Are we pushing? We might get back up there to my target. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna let it come down twice. I'm gonna cover some more. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna let it come down twice. Let me see where I want to cover it. Let me go to 15 minute. I hate this. I don't really want to cover in the middle of all of this right here. Let me go to 5 minute. Let's see if I can find a good place to. Okay. I really ain't got no good place to like really cover. I had already covered here. I really ain't got no good place that I want to cover. Man, I'm just gonna leave. I ain't got no good place I really want to cover, so I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it where I covered that before. And if it come back, it come back. I'm just gonna leave it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it where I had it at before. Okay. Because I don't see no good place that I want to cover. Okay. Where was I at? Okay, it was a small 4-hour fair value gap down here. Put the count out the way so we can see what it looked like. Okay, so it was a small 4-hour fair value gap right there. Okay, boom, got that. Let's drop down to the 60-minute. So on the 60-minute, right, we got a 60-minute fair value gap that we made right here. Another smaller 60-minute fair value gap that was right here. And then we got a order block here. We've come up, dropped down, and we came through. So this right here would be a breaker that we're coming through, right? Trading back up. And as you see, boom, you see right there, when we hit that breaker, we came back into that breaker. That's when we pushed back down. That's when we pushed back down right here. You see what I'm saying? We came, I just saw that right there. I had and I didn't even notice that. If I would have noticed that when I set my profit target, if I would have zoomed out a little bit, I would have set my profit target right there on the open. I would have stayed. Remember when I said I initially put my profit target at the New York Open? I was just doing it because it was the New York Open, not realizing that that was the opening of the last candle of this breaker right here. I would have set the profit target there if I would have realized that. That's what I would have did if I'd have realized that it was coming back to that breaker, because that's a PD array that's in the premium. We came down to the discount, going back to the premium, and hit a PD array in the premium, an important one. The the mitigation blocks and the breakers, those the important ones. So I would have set my profit target right there if I would have noticed that before. Okay, so all right, getting back on track, Tim. So we got the 60-minute fair value gap down here in the discount. So now we're up in the premium, right? So there's, like I said before, there's nothing wrong since you're in the premium, and we came down and we got this breaking market structure right here when we sold off, making this setting this potential order block. We sold off and got this breaking market structure. There's nothing wrong with looking for a sell setup to come down. The only thing you would do, you would just look for a sell setup to come down to a discount area, to a discount PDA. You see what I'm saying? Like, just say if you took a am I about to get it? Am I about to get it? I see it getting close. I'm getting quiet because I like to hear Siri say it, even though that's not Siri. They're not gonna let Siri say it. Say it, Siri. Look how they messing with me. What? I didn't hear it. You got to be kidding me. I didn't hear it. Why didn't I hear it? You know how sometimes it hit it. It hit it, but you know how sometimes it don't make the, oh, you know what? Cause I'm on live. So, and I'm using the mic. So it like Ninja Trader, if I'm using the audio, it won't what's the name? If I'm using the audio, you can't hear it. You can't hear the sound. God dog it. I want to hear Siri say it, man. I like when she say it. Order fill. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, There's nothing wrong with taking a short. Matter of fact, let's go look at that for a second to see if it was a short to be taken for, you know what I'm saying, since we was talking about that, right? So now, remember, we are in the premium, right? We're in the premium at this time here because we've had the break-in structure, right? We've had the break-in market structure and we're in the premium market, right? And we're looking to go short because we just had a break-in market structure, right? So I'm putting that there because that's the break-in market structure right there, right? It's blue is going to be weird for me, but I already use red for equilibrium on the entire range. So this is the break-in market structure, and we're looking at this area right here from this is the drop. So we want to look. I'm just trying to figure out how to highlight. I want to highlight only the candles we need to look at when I drop to the lower time frame because we doing it in hindsight. Okay, so all right, let's drop down to 15 minute first, right? So on 15 minutes, let me see, make sure I highlighted that right. Go back to the hourly. Okay, yeah, I did because this is this hour. This hour ended at 3 o'clock, so I don't want to highlight any candles past 3 o'clock. So on 15 minute, that's the 3 o'clock candle. Okay, boom, right? So this the 3 o'clock candle right here. So I can come all the way down to there, right? That's what we closed at right there. That was the low there. Boom. So now you're looking at this area right here. Let me looking at that area for entry, right? And if you still bearish on the day, we coming back to that area. We coming back to that area, the same area we talk about taking a short. If you bearish on the day, we coming back to that area. We're back in a premium. If you think, oh, we're not going higher, we coming right back to that area. Well, I'm looking to see if that was a good short this morning. So not saying you got to take it, but if you are bearish, we coming to that area. Just putting that out there. Not saying that I'm bearish. I'm just saying if you are, this kind of stuff you look at. So looking at this area, this is the break-in structure. We in the premium. Let me hide these candles so we can understand it, right? Boom. So we're in the premium market. We just had a break-in structure. This is the break-in structure right there at, get out of the way square, right here at this. God dog it. I need to lock this. Let me lock this. Let me lock this. Okay, so this the break-in structure at 3805. Right, so 3805 is the break-in structure, right? So looking at the area of the break-in structure, let me scoot this over just a little bit so I can see this full candle. Three. This is reversed. This is messing with my head because it's reversed. It like the okay, so so looking at this right here at the break-in structure, we had we came down, we set a fair value, we got a fair value gap right here. If you take your trade off the bottom of the fair value gap, you could have went short right here on this 245 candle based off the 15 minutes, right? So that's off the 15 minute. Now we already had the break-in market structure. Let's go down to a 5 minute, right? Let's go down to a 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, we have fair value gap here. We never got back. This was the break-in market structure there on the 15 minute. This was the break-in market structure here on the 5 minute. We set a fair value gap there. Based off the 5 minute, I'm not seeing anything up here in this area that would have been any type of pickup that I would have taken on the 5 minute. Let's just jump all the way down to skinny minute, the lowest time frame of them all, right? So on skinny minute, this is our break-in market structure right here. Skinny Mini was giving you entries way back here before by the time it got to the breaking market structure on the 60-minute down here, the 60-minute breaking market structure, Skinny Mini already had a breaking market structure here back to a fair value gap trade right there on Skinny Mini right here. So if you waited until you had the breaking market structure on the 60-minute, you missed this. If you watched it for a breaking market structure on the 5-minute, you had a 1-minute breaking market structure retrace, fair value gap retrace right here on the 1-minute, and that could have got you in short. So those are different ways you could have taken it short off of the premium now. Just looking at coming from a premium. Those are different ways you could have shorten it from the premium. So those are different ways you could have took a short entry. Now back to the regular scheduled program, right? So we're in the premium, and I'm looking for it to go down to the discount to look for my setup. And what am I looking for it to go down to? I'm looking for it to go down to the different PD arrays, the PIMDAS. We're looking for the PIMDAS, the same thing we went over yesterday, looking at ICT order of operations, right? And so we already know we got an hourly fair value gap down here at the bottom. Boom, we marked it out. We got an hourly fair value gap that we got marked out right here. Let me get back over to my time. Okay, right here. Here we go. It was after 12, before 2. So we're going to put it there. That's good enough. This is my 12 o'clock line starting right around here. That's 12. And then, so it was after 12, before 2. So we know we got an hourly fair value gap down here that we can potentially go to. We came down, went up. We got, boom, we got an order block right here. So we got an order block here, right there. Let's mark that out. And then order blocks again are low on the totem pole. Order blocks are low. Matter of fact, let's go look at PIMDAS. Matter of fact, I took a screenshot. Of PIMDAS because I asked somebody what it was, and you know, of course, it had to be Robinson that gave me the information, and I felt bad about that. I don't like when Robinson have to help me with anything. And so I went and took a screenshot of it just so I can pull it back up anytime I need to talk about it, because this thing right here is a game changer. It's like once you know all the terms, this thing right here is a game changer. It's a game changer. It helps you immensely. Okay, so right there, so we got an order block right there. Let me change it. Let me get my colors together. This is 15 minute. Let's see if what it look like on the 60. I like to mark my stuff on the 60-minute first. There's no order block on the 60 right there. See, look at that. Remember what I was talking about? Coming back to that area. Look how we wicked off that right there. We came back up to that area what we were just talking about. Look at that right there. Oh, that was a clean short. If anybody took that, that was a clean short there. Man, that was a clean short. Came right back up there to this mitigation block right there. Remember when I was like, that's, you know, sort of a mitigation block, because we didn't take that high. You see that failure swing right there? That failure swing, soon as this candle right here, as soon as this red candle gets broken there, that's a mitigation block right there, right? So when you trade back up to that mitigation block right there, boom, look how that sold off. Look how that sold off. I was just talking about that, and I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't bearish on it, but now, you know what I'm saying, just while I'm talking about the price action like this right here, this wasn't even on my radar for real. I mentioned it earlier, but it wasn't on my radar for real, like, to hey, I'm gonna take a short off that mitigation block. But again, we're in a discount, right? We're in a discount, and what ICT say, when you're in a discount and you're buying in a discount and you're going up, what's the first thing you look for price to attack? A mitigation block. We came to the discount And what did it do? It came up here, attacked this mitigation block. This is where you sell at right there. This ain't like if you in the trade down here, you exiting up here. But if you waiting to get in a trade, once you come up here and it hit this mitigation block and reject off, now would be the time to start looking for the entry. Unless you no risk, no Rari, then you can just enter as soon as it hit the mitigation block. Boom, no risk, no Rari, I'm gone. But if you play it a little safe, once it hit that mitigation block, then you start looking for the short setup. It's all about your trading style. Anyway, back to the regular scheduled program. We don't have a order block on the hourly. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all over the place. I hope I am not losing anybody right now. I'm hoping I'm not losing anybody right now. We just came back to this order block. We got an order block right here. Focus, Tim. Focus. Cheese and rice. Let me hide these candles so I can't see this. Okay. This 15-minute order block. I'm gonna have to run back and like start from the top or something because I'm lost now. I know y'all lost because I'm lost. I really apologize. See, this is why I'm gonna do pre-recorded videos because I be all over the place. So now we got a 60-minute fair value gap in the discount. This is the let's run back to the top. Where we at? The bottom of the box, the top of the box. That's the daily dealing range that we looking at from yesterday, right? Equilibrium for yesterday's dealing range is at this red line right here as 37.77. That's equilibrium. We're up in a premium. Right, I want to buy, right, because the overall sentiment is bullish. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've had Monday was bullish, Tuesday was bullish, Wednesday was, you know what I'm saying, Chop City, but ended very bullish. So the overall weekly sentiment right now is bullish. So I want to buy. I'm looking for reasons to buy. Y'all know I like to buy at a discount, sell at a premium. So now that we're at the premium and we hanging out at a high premium, right? We already went over how you can short it back down to a discount, even though it's bullish. You can look for short if your risk appetite is there. Once it gives you the breaking market structure to the downside and you're in a high premium, look for short sales to go back to the discount. Have at it, right? But I'm looking to buy, right? So now discount is below 37.77. We're in a high premium. The PD arrays that we've identified so far is an hourly fair value gap in the discount, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Keeping in mind that there's a breaker in the premium. There's a breaker in the premium, right? Keeping that in mind. And the reason why I'm keeping that in mind is because I'm just going to push this out till tomorrow. Because I want to buy, right? Because I want to buy. I'm keeping this in mind because I want to buy. And right now, it's looking like we're getting ready to form a sell model, right? We're going up. And then I'm anticipating it to come down. So if we're making a sell model, I want to keep this this bullish order block in mind because when we sell past it, there's the potential of us to come back up and ricochet off of it. That's why I'm keeping it in mind because I want to buy in a discount and I want to keep that in mind so that on the other side, when I'm buying, these are roadblocks for my trade, right? There's possibility to be a bearish order block on the other side. So that can be a target, right? If I'm buying in the discount, a target can be a bearish order block. They're lower on the totem pole, but if it's the first thing that price gonna run into, that can be low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's low on the totem pole don't mean price gonna ignore it. You know what I'm saying? It's just these are the highly like the closer to equilibrium, this gray line right here is equilibrium. The closer to equilibrium is, the more highly probable market is going to attack that for liquidity. That's the way I understand this chart right here, right? So here we go. We pointed out the fair value gap in the discount. That's one PD array that I'm looking at. Boom. now I'm just waiting for price to come to the discount and start reacting to these PD arrays, right? So fair value gap in the discount, below the fair value gap, we got a teeny tiny order block, right? So fair value gaps, order blocks, the fair value gap is more probable than the order block. So we got a teeny tiny bullish order block right here, as you see the bullish order blocks here. So the fair value gap is a little bit more probable than the order block, right? Sometimes you'll see me point up here because it's the exact same stuff, but just instead of bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, it's the same stuff, but I understand what I'm saying. My mind worked like that, right? So because a lot of times I don't put the bearish and the bullish in front. I just say order block, fair value gap. I don't be using the bearish and bullish. But anyway, so there's a order block just below that. So that's pretty much all the what's names that I'm watching, right? So boom, price comes down into the discount, and now that we're in this order block, right? We're in this order block, and then it throws on brakes and takes off to the upside. Bing, 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 bing. Bells going off in my head, right? This is at 6:15. I came back here this morning, and I woke up with old man bladder at about 10 minutes to 5. And I came back here, and we were still dropping. We still hadn't made it. And we was close to equilibrium. Like here, yeah, see, this 5:15 candle is when we broke equilibrium. So I just sat down and I sat here and started watching the market, right? Because I'm like, okay, and it was like watching paint dry. It was like watching paint dry. It'd be moving so slow sometime during the London, right? So we got here and it ricocheted up. Bing, 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 bing. Bells going off. Whistles going off, right? So I'm like, okay, we just hit something. I want to know what we hit, right? So let me put a line here because I want to know what we hit. Why did we throw on brakes like that, right? Why did we throw on brakes like that? Now, these 15-minute candles, right? And then let's drop down. Speaking of, okay, remember I said I owed y'all an answer on this liquidity void, right? So see this fair value gap? Liquidity voids can be found inside fair value gaps on lower time frames. So if you ever see a fair value gap on a daily, you know what I'm saying, liquidity voids should be found on subsequent time frames. So here's a fair value gap on the 15-minute, right? So let's drop down to a 5-minute and see if we can see liquidity void. This is a liquidity void right here, right there. You see this area of consolidation right here? We consolidated and then price took off, and it's only buy side candles going up. You got 1, 2, 3 green candles in a row right there, right? This right here, right? These 3 green candles is a liquidity void that is within this 15-minute fair value gap. You know what I'm saying? This fair value, you got one whole candle right here, right? Which makes up this fair value gap. So this high of this 12 noon candle and this low of this 12:30 candle makes up the fair value gap contained in this 12:15 candle. So this fair value gap right here, right? This fair value gap, right? I know I got a million boxes on the screen right now, and I'm sorry, y'all. This fair value gap right here, right? And let me put this over there to 12:15. Oh, go a little bit further. 12:30. It should have been 12:30. Okay, so that fair value gap right there, right? And when I go down to the 5-minute, right? On the 5-minute, you see how it's an area of consolidation. You got the area of consolidation right here, and then it blasts off and it's only straight buy candles. So you got 1, 2, 3 buy candles right there. This area inside here is the liquidity void right there, where there's no sell side candles, right? So inside this area right there, boom. So this area right there is the liquidity void. Actually, you can put it down to here because you got them candles that came in there, but that's the liquidity void right there. That's a liquidity void. The liquidity void, and that's why I say it's similar to when I be like, we got a sell side imbalance, we got a buy side imbalance. That's it right there. But the only difference is, from my understanding of the video that I watched last night, is the liquidity imbalance comes off of an area of consolidation. You know what I'm saying? Because we can have a buy side imbalance during a trend. Like if we just trend up, like, you know what I'm saying, if we just keep trending up, we can have a buy side imbalance. If we keep trending down, we'll have a sell side imbalance. But the liquidity void, from my understanding of it, comes from an area of consolidation where they generating engineering liquidity, right? And then it blasts off, or blast off to the bottom, and it's just straight red candles or straight green candles. That's the liquidity void. Hopefully everybody understand that. All right, so now trying to see what we threw on breaks at, right? So when we drop down to the 5 minute, right, remember this line is where price threw on breaks and took off, right? So we came down, I ain't getting no warm and fuzzy off the 5 minute. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just in the middle of a 15-minute fair value gap, right? We're like in the middle of a 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, we touched the close of this candle and we ricocheted up. That really ain't giving me no warm and fuzzy. I'm like, okay, like this is literally what I'm doing. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm trying to make it be something. I'm like, this ain't giving me nothing, right? So I went down to the 4 minute, and I'm like, man, let me look at this on the 4 minute. Ooh, did we drop all the way back down? What did we just do? Let me see something. Yes, sir. Yeah, we came all the way back. Boy, look here, boy. If anybody was bearish on that and was shorting from when I like we coming back to that area, that was a beautiful short. That was a beautiful short. If anybody was bearish on that right there, when I was like we coming back to that area, if you bearish on it, I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't bearish on it, but like I said, if you was bearish on that, coming back up here to this mitigation block, when I like we coming back up to that mitigation block up there, and coming back up to, you know, where that fair value gap was, hit that mitigation block and came back down, baby, your street in the Range Rover. Beautiful short. But anyway, focus, Tim. So I went to the 4 minute, same thing, a bunch of nothing. Like, it ain't nothing, give me no warm and fuzzy. So I dropped all the way down to skinny mini, right? Went all the way down to skinny mini, and when I dropped down to skinny mini, right, lo and behold, right there, what do your eye spy? Somebody put it in the chat. What does your eye spy right here? What is this little candle right there? This little red candle right here. What is that little red candle? Somebody put it in the chat. What is that? We came down here. We ran this sell side up under here. Dipped under the sell side there. Right? Then ping out, we took off, and then we stopped here and ping out again. What's this little red candle right? Order block. There you go, here to learn and share. Order block. Run the green. It's not a breaker. That's not the breaker. Would be the breaker would be down here after we this would be the breaker right here, because we broke this low and then took off. This is the breaker right there. That's the breaker, right? This on 1 minute. So I don't know how much weight it hold. Order block. I don't know how much weight it's gonna hold being on a 1 minute, but this high broke this low and we traded back through it. So now that's a breaker right here. This area right here is the breaker. This up close candle, right? So order block. So bing, 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 bing. We hit an order block and we reversed, right? We came down. We're in the PDub rate, in the discount, right? We're in the 60-minute fair value gap, right? We came all the way down to a 1 minute order block and then ricocheted up off of it, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know why we ricocheted up. We bounced off of an order block, right? So now let's go around this time here because it was before 7. Okay. Me and the boys left at what time did me and the boys leave? Me and the boys. Okay. Somewhere around here. Me and the it's 7:45 right there. Yeah. So all right. So it was before me and the boys left. All right. So now I'm just leaving it on the 1 minute because I don't feel like going back up. So now we identified why the price went back up. Why we, you know what I'm saying, like reacted to that area right there. Boom. We hit that candle and here we go and we pushing up. So boom, when we hit that candle, we push back up right here. We hit, candle. We hit that order block right and start pretty much engineering liquidity right here. Right, stop there, came down, boom, hit the low, push back up, engineering liquidity, right? We didn't take out this high right here. Then we popped above, barely poked above there, came back down, but did not take out this low, right? Bing, 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 bing. What's going through my mind right here? Failure swing. Failure swing is going through my mind, right? Because we set a low, pushed up engineered liquidity, right? Poked above this high just barely, right? Just barely, maybe one tick. Then we came down, did not take out the low. Throw it on brakes. Took off, took out this high. Immediately, failure swing. That's a failure swing, but this is 1 minute, so it don't hold a lot of weight, right? I'm looking at this area over here. I'm looking at this mitigation block right over here. Again, this 1 minute, so it don't hold a lot of weight, right? So then we go up, we come down, and we start dilly-dallying some more, right? So I'm still watching. I'm like, man, it's still 1 minute. It ain't giving me a real solid move, right? Real solid move until here. Houston, we got liftoff, took off. Now that's a solid move. Pang out. That's with some conviction. Pang out. So now I'm looking at this mitigation block right here. I'm like, that's a mitigation block right there because we came down. We did not take this low. We barely poked above, right? We barely poked above. At this time, I ain't going to hold you. I'm trying to force it because I really want this. So I'm trying to make this be a mitigation block. But since I didn't have no convincing move, I didn't try to jump into nothing. Hindsight 2020, I could have took some over here anywhere, put my stop down here, and it would have been good. But that's just guessing. That would have been guessing because I'm trying to force it. I'm trying to force it to be, you know what I'm saying, a mitigation block. Right? So boom, failure swing, right? We didn't take them lows. I'm like, okay, I'm anticipating a failure swing. What's a failure swing? When you set a low or high, right? You push up, make a low or high, then you come back and you don't take out that low or high that you just set. I'm saying low or high because it worked both ways. So we came down, came up, broke this low right here, set a new low, came up, right? Came back down, but didn't set a new low. Stopped. I'm anticipating a failure swing. Once we break this right here with some conviction, now that's a mitigation block. Because when we came up and set this new low right here, when we push back up, right? We pushed back up here, people went short because it started dropping. And where did they put their stops at? Above these highs right here. The market threw on brakes, reversed on them, took them out, right? Took them out. So now, what makes this right here, right? This this right here is now the mitigation block right here, because it's like people went short, They got stopped out, right? They got stopped out, and then here you go, boom. The mitigation block is right here. I mean, right here now. But the mitigation block, this is the mitigation block right here because they got stopped out, right? So when we went past it, now we got the mitigation block, we got the fair value gap right here. So now I'm eyeballing this mitigation block right here, right? I'm eyeballing this mitigation block. So we got 1, 2 green candles there. So I'm like, okay, we got on this 1 minute now. So I'm like, we got a teeny tiny fair value gap down here. I'm not worried about that. That's way that, you know what I'm saying? That's if you really want to be technical, that's getting kind of close to 50% of the mitigation block. But so I was like, okay, I'm going in at 37.70 right here at the bottom of this fair value gap. We got a tiny fair value gap there. We got the mitigation block here. This funky dog came down to 37.70, 75, 3 ticks away from my entry, right? 3 ticks away from my entry. I'm like, you stinking dog, right? So it took off, pow, we gone, right? Broke another high, right? So now all eyes are on this mitigation block right here. Why? Because this was the initial mitigation block that we didn't break this low, right? Once we break through that high, right? That's the mitigation block. We traded back down to it. Boom, ricocheted off it. Once we break this high, now you can look to go long off of this high right here, right? So we can look for go long off this area. Remember, these 1 minute candles. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take no entry way up here when we got like fair value gaps and stuff like that and order blocks, all of that down here on the 1 minute candle, right? So now I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, we got above here. We engineering liquidity now. These 1 minute candles, right? We engineering liquidity. I look over here. I said, okay, we came right here. We came right back here to this little area here where we came down. I'm like, this right here can potentially be the top of this 1 minute buy model, but this is a 1 minute chart, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. This is all stuff going through my head, right? So I was like, okay, I see a fair value gap here, back in the discount. We right at equilibrium. I see a fair value gap right here, back in the discount. All of that right there. Pop back up to, I'm going to mark this out. I'm going to mark this out right here. Like that. And then I say, okay, I set my order at 37.74, right? The reason why I set my order at 37.74, because we got the fair value gap here that's right back into the discount. And it doesn't break this low right here, because if we break this low right here, then this right here being a mitigation block is ruined. This right here has now been taken out, and this right here would now be a breaker. You see what I'm saying? Like if this order block gets taken out, right, this order block turns into a breaker, because this low broke this high, and then we traded back through it. So if this goes against me, right, and we take out this order block, then I'm done. But I set my order for 37.74, and then I pop back up to was it the 5 minute or 15 minute? Was it the 5 minute or 15 minute? Let me see. Pop back up to the 5 minute, and then I set my order here, and then my stop loss was going to be down at, it was like an 8-point stop loss. It was going to be down at 66, 37.66. So I popped back up. I said, okay, we still got this this fair value gap and this mitigation block that I was trying to get earlier. You know what I'm saying? In this area, we got it on the 5 minute also. So we can potentially come all the way down to this area here, but that's going to be within my risk. So I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Because if we break below that, my whole thesis is out the window. So I was cool with taking this entry here, right? And I didn't want to try to chance it of coming down further down, because right here on the 5-minute. We got these down closed candles, and if we blast off, this could be a potential order block. But I was like, okay, I'm willing to take that risk right there. Right now, hindsight, look what this funky dog did. Right, took off and came back down, all the way down here, where below my original entry. My original entry was 37.70. That was my original entry I tried to take back here. Came down to 37.69. What is that? 37.69.75. One tick below my original entry at the 37.70. Over here. Right back over here. My one tick. But that's what the dirty dog did. And then the rest is history. Y'all saw the rest. When we got on the lot, it had went up, stopped short of my target by look at there. Look how we went down there. Charlie. Man, that was a beautiful short. Man, that was a beautiful short. And the rest is history. But that is my teachable moment and breakdown of why I took that trade. Now, since I was all over the place, I want to do a quick recap of everything to make it concise and make it make sense. Right? So, I'm gonna put these on 15-minute candles and blow it up right here. So, we got the overall top-down analysis, right? We're in we set our box for the day, for yesterday. This is our dealing range, right? We're in a premium market for yesterday's dealing range, right? The overall sentiment for the week has been bullish, right? So I'm looking for a reason to buy since we're in the premium of the market, right? I look like I'm in slow motion. Am I good, y'all? Okay. Since we're in the premium of the market, I'm looking for a reason to buy because the overall market, the sentiment for the week so far has been bullish, right? So I don't want to buy in the premium, right? I don't want to buy in the premium. So since I want to buy, I'm looking for a PD array in the discount that I expect the market to attack. At this point, if you want to buy, you can also sell it down to that discount area. You would just start looking for a breaking structure like we got right here at this 38.05. Once we got that breaking structure to the downside, look for a setup to go short because you're in a high premium on the dealing range. And then the market comes back down to the discount, right? But the thing of it is, the reason why I don't want to do it like that is because I just try to go with the bias, because there's no guarantee that the market, that the algos are looking at this exact same dealing range, and then you mess around and try to go short up here, and then it just come back down to this order block right here and then turn back around on you. You see what I'm saying? But so I waited until it came to the PD array in the discount. Now we've gotten down to pretty much the only PD array. We got a 60-minute fair value gap, a tiny 60-minute 15-minute order block right here. I don't know if it was a 60-minute, but it's a 15-minute order block. But this the only PD array that's down here, a 15-minute order block, 60-minute order block. We got over here, we made a low. Nothing. Right? So this right here is a bearish order block on this side over there, but that's outside of this area right here. Okay, so here we go. We come back down and we get into the 60-minute fair value gap. We get into the PD array that we watching in the discount. Once we get in the PD array that we're watching in the discount, now we start looking for our setup. And now we start looking for the market to show us that it wants to go long, right? Once we get the signal that it wants to go long, we stop. We start engineering liquidity. We get a break in market structure to the upside, right? Once we get a break in market structure to the upside, we come back down on the fifth. Looking at the 15-minute, we came back down to a 15-minute fair value gap right there. Then took off. Like hindsight, looking at this, there wasn't even no need to drop down to the lower time frame to look for the entry, because we had the breaking market structure come down and then right back into the fair value gap. But on the lower time frames, it was a lot more detail, a lot more getting into whatever. But that's it. Looking for the PD array in the discount, trade down to the PD array in the discount. Let the market show you that it want to go back upside. Market showed it wanted to go back upside. Look for the entry setup. Took the entry setup. Profit target hit. Now the market got back up into the premium. Hit another PD array up in the premium, which is a mitigation block and a fair value gap. All in one. You got a mitigation block over here. You got a fair value gap right there. What else we got over here? And then the price, the body of the candle respecting this bearish order block right here. The wick came all the way up to the mitigation block. The wick came all the way up to the fair value gap, but the body of the candle stopped at roughly 50% of this order block. So you got mitigation block, fair value gap, order block. All of that is beautiful. A+ setup to the short side that I wasn't even watching. I was just saying, we coming back to this area. If you bearish, we coming back to this area. But since I hadn't sat down and analyzed it for a short, none of this was on my radar. I just knew we was coming back to an area where there was a PD array in the premium market, and we had just left a discount. So if you buy in a discount, a PD array in the premium would be an exit. And the reason why it's an exit, because there's always a chance that it may turn around at that PD array, right? So hopefully that helps somebody. So hopefully that helps somebody. Let me go to the chat and see what y'all talking about. If y'all like that, man, let me know in the chat if y'all like that. If y'all got anything out of this. Braylon said Fed wanted unemployment to go up. Okay. What's up, Valdez? What's up, Zay? When you slid up in here? If we come to that fair value gap, what are you thinking happened? Oh, I wish I would have saw this earlier. Hold on. Gang. It's been too long. Hold on, Zay. Zay, I hope you still in here. Zay. Oh, crystal ball. Zay, the wealth strategy says, if we come to that fair value gap, what do you think happens? Well, it's been a long time since we popped that old balling. Since we popped that old balling calling. It's been a minute. What's going on, son Jay? What's up? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we saw that. What's up, Tim Dog? What's up, Gabriel? What's going on? Order block breaker saw that. So that takeoff would be a liquidity void. Which takeoff? Okay, let's just go. Let's go to 60 minutes, right? Okay. Let's go to 15. Look, okay. So we got. Let's look at this big green candle right here. Since it's so big, let's go see if we can find a liquidity void in there. Let's just look at this big red candle right here. Let's look at this big red candle right here. See if we can find a liquidity void, because this candle has not closed yet, but we looking like we about to create a fair value gap right here. Right, we're looking like we about to create a fair value gap there, but the The candle's not closed yet, so ain't no guarantee that it's going to be a fair value gap. But since we got this big red candle and then a potential fair value gap right there, let's start dropping down in there to see if we can identify a liquidity void, right? So, and yes, we can. We consolidated a little bit right here, and then y'all, we got 4 red candles in a row right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. This right, and so in between this green candle right there and the top of this green candle right there, that's your liquidity void right there. That's your liquidity void. And that's inside, those are 5-minute candles inside this 15-minute potential fair value gap. Because the 15-minute fair value gap is right there, right? That's the 15-minute fair value gap. And when you drop down to the 5-minute candles, like the fair value gap is going to possibly contain a liquidity void, because the liquidity void is it, you know what I'm saying? We came up, went into a slight little consolidation. See, we ranged, you know what I'm saying? Not ranged, we trended. We had an uptrend, 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles, and then we went sideways. We consolidated for 2 candles, right? And then we took off. 1 red candle, not offering any buy side except a little bit right there. 2 red candles, you know what I'm saying? 3 red candles, 4 red candles, and then we finally offered a green candle here. So from the top of this green candle to the bottom of that green candle, that's your liquidity void right there. And inside that, matter of fact, this is a 5-minute fair value gap, right? And this is a 5-minute fair value gap also. So this liquidity void right here makes up 2 different 5-minute fair value gaps. And then you can go down and look inside those 5-minute fair value gaps and try to find liquidity voids on the lower time frames. Let's just jump all the way down to a 1 minute, because I don't feel like, and boom, there you go right there. There's your liquidity void right here. And since we came back up with this green candle, your liquidity void would be there, right there, right there. So we came here, went sideways for 1 candle, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Came down, slight look. It ain't a big consolidation, but we, you know, and then drop down right there. There you go. Then here's one up here. We had a consolidation up there, and then it was boom, all red candles right there. And that was the top part. That was the top fair value gap, and that was the bottom fair value gap. So that's the liquidity void. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Commodore Braxtonian. That's my first time ever seeing that name. If this ain't your first time pulling up, I jalapies. If it is your first time pulling up, welcome. Thank you for joining us. But that's my first time seeing that name. I appreciate that. Here to learn and share. Yes, the NASDAQ. We ain't seen it in a while. I appreciate you, Zay, for letting me pull it out. I wish he was still in here so he could have seen that. The trade you missed. You was explaining it earlier. Oh yeah. We still pushing down. Yeah, we pushing. I just seen my screen move. We pushing. Oh, them boys said we gonna get us a red day this week. Y'all better stop playing with us. Y'all better stop playing with us. We gonna get us a red day this week. What we okay, we done came down into a deep discount. We just filled in that hourly. Well, almost filled in the hourly fair value gap. We just came into a really deep discount again. The high 37.59 is the bottom of the fair value gap, and we just got down to 37.59.75, and it's 37.59. 37.59.50 is the bottom of the fair value gap. I never marked my New York open. I can move this out of the way. We just took out the sell side liquidity that we set on the overnight low. We just took out the sell side liquidity at 37.63.75. I didn't say any of that earlier because we had made a teachable moment. So we have this humongous order block right here. If this turns out to be a chop suey day, it's very probable 50% of this order block is at 37.53.25, right? 37.53.25 is 50% of this order block. So I can see us getting down to that. Let's see what's going on down in that area. Because we still haven't taken out this buy side liquidity up here. We came back up to this mitigation block right here, and we sold back down heavily too. We sold down heavily too, got a extremely long wick. And so we're coming down. We just got outside of that fair value gap, the first initial hourly fair value gap that we were looking at. So now, peep game now. We went up, failed to take out buy side liquidity on the external, breaking market structure with the failure swing, setting a mitigation block, came down, right, set a low right around here, around this cheese and rice, I can't think right now. Turned back around, came up here to the mitigation block, right? Then we sold back down. Now that we sold back down, we got another breaking structure right here, right? We got a breaking structure, right? We just made a breaking structure, taking out this fair value gap. Now it's 10:30, so now would be the time to be looking for what the market's going to do, right? If you went short up here at this mitigation block, right? This order block that we was talking about, that could have been paying attention to that coming down, right? Paying attention to that. Now, and then we bust through that, right? Now that we bust through that, you see how we came back up, and that was a boom. That was an opportunity to go short off of that. I remember when I said when it be on this side, when it be on the opposite side of the model, like on the buy side of this sell model, once we went, you know what I'm saying, we went down, we went up through it back to this mitigation block, right? And then totally ignored it, came down. But once we came back through, right? Once we came back through, we came over here and we had set, you know what I'm saying, we set another area right there, boom, stop, and came down. We got this potential bearish order block that we trying to set, but we came right back to that same area where we trying to set an order block in the same area, and then took off. But we went up first to the higher priority mitigation block first, and then sold off. Then once we sold off and came back up, and then we got right back here to this area that I was like, we may potentially sell off of it, and then we actually sold off of it. You see what I'm saying? And then now we've broken structure again, so that's another target to get out of a short if you went short here. Now that we've broke structure there, mind you, now we broke structure there, this now becomes the potential to be a mitigation block, right? This has the potential to be a mitigation block. But where you want to be careful is this is in the discount of this dealing range, of this entire dealing range, right? You don't want to be trying to sell off of a PD array that's in the discount, right? Only time you want to sell off of a PD array is when it's in the premium. Can the market still sell off from there? Yes, it can, because the market, the algo could have been adjusted its range. You see what I'm saying? I'm still looking at this entire range here, but the algos could have been adjusted their range. Just say they started with the New York range. Where do we open up at? Let me go to 15-minute candle. Let me set my New York open. This 945 candle opened at 37.80.50. 37.80.50. What did I just change? Oh, I moved the green line. I moved the green line. I didn't move it. We already took that out anyway. So I thought I hadn't highlighted the okay. So well, that's a big old candle. So that ain't gonna really give you much of a difference anyway from the New York session. But still, the market could have adjusted its you know what I'm saying, box from now. This is no longer the discount or premium line. They may be looking, you know what I'm saying, at like a different level, and this could be moving back to a premium, or you know what I'm saying, it still can just go there and sell back off. There's no guarantee, but personally, I just don't like to sell anything while we in the discount. I prefer to sell in the premium. Whenever you hear me say we've come too far too fast, and I'd be like, okay, I needed to come back up to a certain point before I sell. I mean, I wanted to come back up to a premium market before I sell. You know what I'm saying? Or we go too far too fast. I want to come down to a certain area before I buy. I want to come back down to a discount market before I buy. Chris, why in the world are you still sitting on my screen? I appreciate you, King Ali. I appreciate y'all. Hey, man, I'm getting hungry. I've been on here for an hour and 37 minutes. My stomach growling. Like I say, man, we if anybody got anything, drop it in the chat. The link should be pinned at the top of the chat. If anybody want to pull up and ask anything, feel free to do so. I'll hang out for a few minutes. If anybody got any questions or want me to explain anything differently, if you got anything, put it in the chat. I'll explain it. If y'all don't, then we gonna I'll see y'all this evening. Like I say, Timothy got a JV game today, and so if Calandra don't leave work, I shouldn't say early. If Calandra don't leave work on time, then the price action recap might be a little bit later than 7:30. But if she leave on time, then we'll just get on at 7:30. Other than that, I ain't got nothing. Let me see if anybody put anything in the chat before I get out of here. I know it's like a 15-second delay. Thanks for sharing your time and knowledge. I appreciate you, Head Learning Chef, for pulling up. I just try to say it in a way that little Timmy Rogers, the voice in my head, understand it and to help somebody get that aha moment. If y'all like me and you want to know the why behind everything, if you know what I'm saying, if you totally content with just getting like one trade and setup that's highly effective, the 2022 mentorship on ICT that gives you my go-to setup. I call it the liquidity run reversal. It's just a breaking market structure, gap fill retracement, fair value gap retracement, should I say. That's all it is. That's a perfect setup. It ain't a whole lot of understanding the why behind it. It's just knowing what to look for. If you're in a premium and you have a breaking market structure to the downside, if you leave a fair value gap, when it retraces back to that fair value gap, you sell. If you're in a discount and you got a breaking market structure to the upside and it leave a fair value gap, when it retraces back to that fair value gap, you buy. That's all it is. It's very effective. 2022 mentorship, it can get you that. But if you want to know the why behind why this price action tick and like just be able to look at them charts and it just really start to make sense, just do yourself a favor and just start going through the core content. Don't try to binge watch everything. This not a sprint, it's a marathon. Just look at the videos on your own leisure. Take your time and really digest it, because hearing all these terms, you know what I'm saying, that's good. But understanding how to connect all these terms together and understand, like that's why I say that PIM-dash chart, that right there, I call it the PIM-dash chart, because you know in school you got the order operations, you got the PIM-dash. I call it the PIM-dash chart. That right there, just because I've always known, y'all done heard me say a million times, I want to sell in the premium, I want to buy in the discount, right? Y'all done heard me say that a million times. But actually looking at that video when he breaking down, when you're in the premium and you want to buy, this is what you look for in the discount to buy from. If you're in the premium and you already sold, this is what you look for in the discount to take your profit on, and vice versa. If you're in the discount and you want to buy, this is what you look for in the premium before you know, I mean, if you're in a discount and you want to sell, this is what you look for in the premium to get ready to sell. If you already bought in the discount, this is what you look for to sell it once you get to the premium. Man, that PIM-dash chart was a game changer. Hey man, hopefully, what's that, Margot? Dang, we missed that one. Overnight low fell 355, then shot up to 379. Hope it dropped some more though. I ain't even, what's Spalene looking like? Spalene probably looking bloody. Oh, look like we're gonna have a little inside day. I'm looking at it now. We came right, well, we came right down to the top of that gap up. That gap down, I'm sorry. We came right to the top of that gap down. Let's see how we act off of this right here. Let's see if it was just all a ploy to come back down to this gap, and then push back up. Tomorrow's non-farm payroll, but we just going sideways. Tim, what was the order? What was the order of the ICT videos to watch? He said, if you new and you just want to have that one setup, he said go to I got to go look at me some Country Wayne. There you go, right there. The primer, the sniper series, the market maker primer series, the sniper series, and then watch the 2022 mentorship, and that'll be all you need. The primer series, watch that first, the sniper series, and then watch the 2022 mentorship, and that'll be all you need. The 2022 mentorship is just one setup that he teach you how to look for that one setup, and then the primer and the sniper series that kind of break down all the stuff about like market structure and order block, OTE entries and stuff like that. But it give you a lot of the lingo and help you understand some of the stuff. Now the 2022 mentorship, you're gonna have to know the lingo already. But if you look at the primer and the sniper series first, you will learn the lingo, and then the 2022 mentorship, then you will understand what he's telling you in that setup. Yeah. But if you really want to know the why behind everything and be able to like just make trades outside of that one setup, man, just go through that core content at your own leisure. That's all I can say. That's all. Like, it's a lot to digest, but hey man, you can't beat it. Hey, I don't see nothing else in the chat, man. I'm about to go eat me some cereal and watch something on TV. It's almost 11 o'clock. It's almost time for me to get off anyway. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, man. Like I say, I see y'all tonight for the price action recap. If y'all gonna trade safe. If you're gonna watch the market, take copious notes. I'll see y'all later on this evening, man. Gone.